Oh,
Hello, we are Geek Assembled, and today we are discussing a 1994 movie, sometimes known as just Leon, sometimes known as The Professional, or sometimes known as Leon the Professional. Yeah, there we go. Susan's waving. Oh, it's Blu-ray as well. She's soaping the world with Blu-ray.
poking him in the eyeballs.
Yeah, it's written and directed by Luc Besson, and we have the first screen appearance of a young, now there she is, Natalie Portman, also starring Jean Reno and Gary Oldman, to name a few. A story of a hitman who befriends a young girl after her family is murdered by a certain character's gang in their apartment where they live, and then the story goes on from there. So we'll go to Susan and see what her opening thoughts are on Leon.
All right. Well, Leon is he's a professional hitman. A certain, sort of procedure that he goes through before he kills people, and he sticks to his procedure or his plan all the time. But it's more like a procedure because he does it every single time he goes out to kill somebody, and he ends up on the other side of this, gonna fight this. I guess it's like due to the involvement of this girl, he ends up being sort of on the opposite side of this of a conflict with this gang that killed her family too, and also because of some of what they feel like they've left some loose ends. So anyway, and it's also got Gary Oldman. Okay, how many good things can we say about Gary Oldman in this podcast? Let's start with superlatives. Absolutely excellent, fantastic, brilliant, super amazing. Again, hyper devastating, really, really scary, really, really cruel, really, really amazing and powerful. Gary Oldman is just the bomb. And
literally in the end.
What's that?
Yeah, he was literally in the end, yes.
Yes, literally the bomb in the end, yes. Yes, he's great. I've watched a lot of his stuff, and he just takes you places with his characterizations. You can always tell it's him, but sometimes you can't. But once he starts speaking and stuff, he's got some distinctiveness, and he uses that. And then he also, he works very hard when he needs to cover it up. He works very hard to cover it up, and he's just an excellent actor. Okay. And Natalie Portman. Padme never looked so cool. She's played people with big guns a lot recently.
Yeah.
And so this is basically the start of all that. I think she couldn't have chosen a better starting point for her career. And then working with Luc Besson was just a really great move on her part. And Luc Besson, how many good things do we say about him? He does great works. And and you know, she Natalie in this looks like she looks like she looks really innocent, but she's got, I mean, through the course of this movie, her character grows so much that you just see that innocence is being broken, and and it's not all, you know, sexual, but she was offering that, and she was offering it to Leon, and she was offering, you know, her love to Leon, and she is, I mean, he was both her father and her big brother, and she wanted him to be her lover, but you know, because of the way that Leon thinks, he wasn't going to let that happen. And so, like, there's just, I mean, it was those are some really, really intense scenes. And let's see, other things about this movie. Soundtrack is really good. Uh, and it's another in a whole slew of gangster movies that I've been watching recently, and I really like it. And uh, yeah, uh, yeah, that's those are pretty much all of my opening thoughts. Um, yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Well, as you mentioned the great Gary Oldman. From movie to movie, you don't know what you're going to get with him.
I,
I mean, okay, we've seen these movies time and time again, but it always comes as a surprise. Once he comes onto the screen, you just don't. It's amazing how he just subtly changes his persona from movie to movie. And as I say, this one as a bad cop. Um, and then you say you've got Natalie Portman. Was she playing a 12-year-old in this? I think it was. Yeah, 12-year-old. Um, yeah, you mentioned she sort of fell in love with Leon, which some of the scenes was a bit awkward for me rewatching this, where she was doing a undying love for him when she was going down escaping and all like that, and I thought, oh, a bit awkward. She's only a 12-year-old girl. I mean, you knew she sort of had the hots for him when she told the hotel manager that Leon was her lover,
mm-hmm,
which got them thrown out the hotel. Um,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's a very. I mean, Besson always makes these movies look so artistically pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
and this is another one of his where it's just so well shot, um, and well acted and well told. There's a Jean Reno as the tall, gangly hitman, who doesn't really say much, keeps himself to himself, loves going to the cinema, watching the old musicals. Um, and then you've also got his what do you call it, Tony, the one who gives him the jobs, um, played by Danny
Aiello.
Aiello. Yes, a very well known face in the acting profession. He's been in loads and loads of stuff. Great actor. And this one was no. He was Tony, but this was like a gentle mobster, just
Uh-huh.
sitting there
Yeah,
sitting there in his shop, giving out the jobs,
he's like his
keeping
capo.
yeah,
That's what they call it.
keeping Leon's money aside. Who needs a bank? Because banks get done over. Nobody will do over Tony. But I mean, it's only like a small ensemble cast,
Yeah,
but each character, once they're on screen, you can't take your eyes off them. And it's a sort of a sad ending, but also an ending where Natalie Portman's character Mathilda has got her whole life in front of her, and she's sort of set up now to make something of her life.
yep.
Because if she hadn't have met Leon, I don't know where her life would have gone.
Right?
So, yeah, it could have took a nasty turn. It was on that road, but it took a bad thing to happen for her to take another turn in to meet Leon. So we go
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
moments.
kids that lose their parents and lose their whole family end
Yeah,
up on the streets, and man, it is not good. Living rough, and I think that's the way you put it in the UK. Oh man, it's hardcore, and homelessness and squatters and all that stuff. All those little aspects of life when you're broke and you're young. I mean, people are victimized. People are sexually violated all the time, and then sold into slavery, and it just
good.
goes
Yeah,
on and on and on. And
yeah.
so by meeting Leon, she really avoids all of the pitfalls of losing your whole family.
But
And because he's a decent guy, he provides for her
and teaches her how to use a gun.
and teaches her how to kill people. Yeah, exactly, precisely.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do.
So
Yeah, and it kind of feels a bit like New York, you know. Um, I'm not entirely sure where it's actually supposed to be set, but
it's in New York, yeah.
kind of feels like it. But
Yeah. Streets of New York, it says on here.
yeah.
But, so any things what you were amazed by, or things what you weren't so keen on?
I love it when she is I love it when she was uh in there getting dressed, and she puts on the the sort of exactly the same thing that Leon was wearing, and so and as they walk off together, they look exactly the same. I thought that was great, and I thought that and yeah, I liked her confrontation with the police. That was great, and I loved the fact that he was the police captain or whatever was uh, was trying to convince her that anyway, yeah. So things that I did, there was hardly anything I didn't like. I liked the grittiness. I liked the fact that he that he had these all in like this nice big big case, and she went in and looked at it first thing,
Yeah.
and she was like, oh, I see what he does. And she couldn't help herself. She started playing with them and stuff. So uh, and then yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, back
Yeah.
over to you.
I mean, I do like as you said, the grittiness of this. I think you was referred to the scene where she goes into the police department with a bag of, well, it looks like pizzas or donuts or whatever, and in fact it's some guns. And he confronts her in the gents toilet. And what a scene for Natalie Portman at that age to play out this scene with a great actor like Gary Oldman. It's just amazing. And it comes across as so you get the feeling he would kill her there and then.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the other copper coming in and disrupting them.
Yeah.
But what an awesome acting class for Natalie Portman to have on her first movie.
Yeah, Jean Renard and Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
Danny Aiello, and yeah.
Yeah. Another scene where they're trying to entertain each other. Then she's dressing up, and he has to guess who she's supposed to be. She did Madonna and Marilyn Monroe.
Mm-hmm. And Charlie Chaplin.
Chaplin, who he didn't get any of them apart from Gene Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his interpretation of John Wayne is much to be answered at. And then the final scenes where the whole police force came down on him. One man against all that lot. What an amazing shootout. What an amazing escape. Only to be downed by Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Let's say the last 10-15 minutes of this movie is just action, and brilliant. So, but the bad guys get the comeuppance in the end, of course, as they always do in these sort of movies.
Yeah, and I like the hippies, the in that van. Yeah.
You gotta have a few hippies.
Absolutely have to.
You have a few hippies in a pop land.
Yep.
Which Leon cared more for the pot plant than he did human beings.
I know, it's true.
So, anything else you want to? Oh, and as you may mention, the music by Eric Serra.
Yeah.
Brilliant music, and also using Sting's song at the end, "Shape of Heart," which was brilliant. It's a classic song. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, her parents were yeah, there was that SWAT team too. That was funny. And her parents were played by Michael Badalucco and Ellen Green, and those two are old, are his just really good character actors, and they didn't have much screen time before they were killed, but yeah, that was kind of great.
So we'll go to final say and score on Leon then.
Yeah.
Over to you, Susan.
Well, Let me just see for a second. Um, because one of the next things that I want to see is Thor: Love and Thunder, and because I just watched the Obi-Wan series and was thinking a lot about her performance of Padme. I really think that Natalie Portman she has some chops. She's done quite a bit of amazing work, and in this case, the amazing work of being the orphan, sudden orphan of these two people, and picked up by uh, her life picked up by Leon was, I mean, she played that so well, and she's got a lot of uh, grace, and she's willing to do her own action scenes, not stunts. I mean, of course, not stunts, but she does a lot of action scenes, and she learns. I mean, you can see that she's learned uh, to do a little gunfighting in this, and she's learned a lot about her. Uh, you know, the the and the character did too. But the I mean, I just think the world of Natalie Portman right now. I think that she's, you know, I'm really glad that she doesn't get as much shit as she did when people first saw, um, you know, Attack of the Clones, and even back to Phantom Menace, and of course Revenge of the Sith. I think that there is, she's a really righteous actress, and I can't wait to see her play another a comic action part in Thor: Love and Thunder. So for all of that, I'll give her 9. I'll give this movie 9.5 uh, pistols out of 10. Or if you'd rather 9.5 Ascension guns, or if you'd rather 9.5 Mjolnirs out of 10.
Thank you, Susan. Yeah, it's gained its cult status, this movie, now over the years, and it's led, as Natalie Portman onto bigger and brighter things.
Yeah.
Jean Reno and Gary Oldman have carried on making great movies, and Luc Besson, of course. But I'm going to give this, because it was nice to sit down and watch this, because it's slow. It's an action movie, but it's also slowly paced.
It is.
It's not bam 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 all the time. There's a story to this.
Yeah.
I like that. So
I know you do.
I'm going to give it 9.5 glasses of milk out of 10.
Very funny.
Because Leon's favourite drink was milk.
Yeah. Even that barkeeper had one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our little review of Leon.
Yep.
I like thank Susan for joining me and sitting down and watching this.
Hang on
this
a
week.
second. Gotta wait till your audio level comes back up.
Oh,
keep talking.
I'll keep talking. Okay. As I was saying, I like to thank Susan for being here and watching this week. You guys out there, please let us know if you've seen this movie. Let us know what you thought of it. Please leave a comment below. We always ask this because we like to read comments. Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're not. Hey ho. If you're leaving a comment on the YouTube channel, please remember to press the bell notification button, and a little dinger sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. Oh, yeah. And you'll get notified every time we put up a video. We're on Facebook, or on Twitter, Insta, and of course with YouTube. So if you want to join us, get in touch, just message us. All we need you to have is either a laptop, PC, tablet, mobile phone with a working camera and microphone, and please be 18 plus. Because some of the things we review, some of the things we talk about, it's not all Disney. Those were the days, eh?
Oh, you want Alec back? You want Alec back? I could tell. You just looked a little wistful when you mentioned Disney. Oh, don't worry.
Don't wish for things because they may happen. Never ever wish for things. So,
well, I think if we review Thor: Love and Thunder, Kevin will come back. That's for sure.
Oh yes, Kevin only does superhero stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey ho. So I think that's it. Everything. I think so, isn't it? Yep. So until next time, we raise a glass of milk to you all and wish you safe health, and happiness. Until next time. Bye for now.